Hi, I'm Louise and I'm a second year archaeology student. In this video, follow me on a 3-day trip to London to explore some iconic landmarks but also some hidden gems. I'll also be reviewing the British Museum's new exhibit on life in the Roman army, so stick around to the end to find out why I was left a bit disappointed. As always, there'll be a full write-up on my blog with any other useful links also all down in the description below. Starting first with a train ride from York to London King's Cross. So arriving in King's Cross and immediately jumping onto the tube to go to the first stop for the day, which is the Natural History Museum. And this is such a beautiful building. I'd love to get the Lego set of it someday. It's a bit expensive right now. And entry is free, which is amazing, and you're immediately greeted by Hope the blue whale skeleton. And the first exhibit I decided to do was dinosaurs, which feels a bit ironic as an archaeologist. And yeah, before anyone says anything, yes, archaeologists don't dig dinosaurs, but they are still super cool and it was a lot of fun to start with. Did not really film much in the mammals, fish, insects, etc. exhibits, as to be honest, they creep me out a little bit. We've seen Paddington. But then headed upstairs, amazing view. And then one of my favourite things in the entire museum is this sequoia tree. And it's just amazing to think how long this tree was standing for. Then the minerals and gems room. I always forget how large this room is. There is so much stuff. And then the treasures room. These are my 3 favourite finds, especially this Neanderthal hand axe. It was absolutely huge and stunning. Then back downstairs and seeing some of the fossils, and then Sophie the Stegosaurus. The really cool elevator was unfortunately not working today, so starting downstairs with probably my favourite section, which is the human evolution section. And then heading through the rest of the Red Zone exhibits, and finally, of course, the museum gift shop. And yeah, always a great experience, Natural History Museum. Then quick break checking into the Premier Inn in South Kensington before hopping on the tube to head to Covent Gardens. Having a cheeky Wagamama's because it was easy to find and kind of just fancied it. Before heading to the Adelphi Theatre to watch the Back to the Future the musical, which was really good. It's just like the films, but don't take yourself too seriously. Would recommend. And then heading on the tube and going back to bed and sleeping really well. So a Premier Inn all-you-can-eat breakfast is never a bad way to start the day. And then heading to Tower Hill for a really exciting little trip out. So, right now we are sat in a coffee shop by Tower Hill Underground Station, having a bit of caffeine before going to the first stop of the day, which is a very old, very important defensive structure that I am really excited to see, and is hopefully going to be a really interesting first stop of the day. So, right by Tower Hill Underground is a very famous defensive structure, but this is not actually the one we're here to see. So the defensive structure I'm actually here to see is quite a bit older than the Tower of London, dating to about 200 CE, when the Roman settlement in London called Londinium built these defensive walls that encircled the entirety of the city back then. And I really wanted to see some of the Roman history of London while I was there, and I thought this was a nice piece of the wall to visit, as you can just see it right next to Tower of London, sort of like the old and the older. But then back on the tube to a next Roman site for today. So this, surrounded by skyscrapers, is the London Mithraeum. And this is over 600 artefacts in this display case from an excavations we've done at this area, discovering the Roman temple that lay beneath. And to go visit the temple, you've got to take these stairs down, which they really cool, put a timeline along your descent down, so you're sort of going through history as you finally approach the Roman surface level. And this is a really interesting find, as it's a temple dedicated to a Roman cult, the cult of Mithras, and it's a bit of a mysterious cult. Not really sure what they did, and it had this whole white exhibit over the reconstruction of the temple, which was great to walk around, have a look at. Didn't take long, and it was really fun. Before heading back up to the street, to head to the Guildhall, which is an old building in its right. But underneath it is actually the remains of London's Roman amphitheatre. The amphitheatre itself did not take very long to see at all. It was interesting to see, but I'd recommend going because the rest of the Guildhall is also great. It's got lots of paintings in it. It's also free entry, and it's really not far away from the Mithraeum. Then a quick pizza pit stop to refuel. Nice marinara pizza. Before heading to the British Library. I haven't actually been before this trip, and so I really wanted to go to actually see it for the first time. And they have a lot of books, kind of famous for them, being a library and all. But they also have their treasures rooms. They have a lot of important manuscripts. Unfortunately, most of my footage from here is unusable because I had these like weird lines on from like the lighting in there. But this is the Magna Carta, which is a really important, famous document. I thought it was really cool to see with my own eyes, and this is another map they've got. And then they had an exhibit on called about fantasy, about these imaginative realms in literature, movies, TV. And this was a really great exhibit. I would really recommend. It was nice to see how it pulled, so that's a copy of Beowulf, if I remember correctly, from loads of different areas of fantasy, not just books. So that's Gandalf's staff from Lord of the Rings. It got a Monty Python TV script. And yeah, this was a really surprised me how much I enjoyed this exhibit. Lots of cool ensemblage of different pieces of information to look at. Definitely something for everyone in this exhibit. Like even Dungeons and Dragons, there's even Skyrim, like all in one exhibit with the Iliad. And then I wanted to go to a bookshop. This is a LGBT bookshop in London. And it's the first LGBT bookshop, and they had a lot of books. This is a really great place to go to. And then went to Bone Daddy's to have a bao bun. Somehow ordered a lot of greenery. Before once again heading to the theatre, this time Victoria Theatre, to go and see Hamilton. I've wanted to see Hamilton for ages now, and it definitely lived up to the hype. It was sensational. We'll definitely be going again when I'm next in London. So another Premier Inn all-inclusive to start the day. Great way to start the day. Coffee machine, not so great way to start the day. I prefer my coffee at home, but that's my fault. And to go to the British Museum to go see the Legion Life in the Roman Army exhibit. And this, don't get me wrong, this was a great exhibit. Lots of cool artifacts. These will come up on the screen shortly. It had a great structure. You followed right from recruitment all the way to retirement in the Roman army. And they also had these interactive ratus parts, which is a great way to incorporate a bit more engagement, trying to see how if I could lift the Roman pack. You're even following the story of one particular soldier. And yeah, it also had some really cool ambience with these walls painted, some sound, sort of soundscapes, voice thingies, and the finds. The finds are incredible. Like look at this. This is a Roman sock. This sock's like 2,000 years old. My socks look worse than that. But the problem with this exhibit started before we even entered, where the staff unfortunately came across a bit rude. And I don't know if I went on the wrong day. I went on a weekday morning, but on the ticket it says arrive exactly at your time. And I've been to one of these exhibits before, and I arrived exactly on the dot on my time, because last time we were like, you're a bit early, it's 5 minutes early. And then the person looking at tickets like scoffed and went, what time's your ticket? I went, 12:50. And scoffed, and I was like, a bit uncalled for. And then looked at her phone and goes, oh, just in time. It was bang on 12:50, which just feels irrelevant. This is a critically acclaimed exhibit, and it makes me think what different experience people at the press reviews are probably going to have. So now we're a bit more critical of the overall exhibit. Some of the ambience I would say was a bit off. That wheel you just saw come on made a really big clattering noise, which was quite distracting. It was fun, but distracting. It was also really busy. They could have maybe had a more staggered layout to look at the artifacts, but felt like you were in the Legion at times, just standing around waiting for orders while waiting to just see this one thing. But the finds were incredible. If you'd like to hear any more about them in a different video, do let me know. Some absolutely amazing things, and just letting come up on your screen is just not enough time to review and tell you. But it was a good exhibit. I'd probably only have to be able to give it 4 stars there now, due to my experience and then these few nitpicking parts. Hopefully it was just my interpretation. Then having a coffee and then speedrunning the absolute rest of the exhibit, as I did not have time. So that was my trip to London. Then took the train home, and yeah, have you been to London recently? What archaeology things have you got up to? And thank you so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please like, let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see, expand upon, and subscribe if you have enjoyed it for more content.